hat in California is like highly profiled with bad.
Well, Lamarr, I want to thank you for coming here this morning. You're leaving tomorrow, right?
I leave tomorrow afternoon.
Was this your first time coming to Japan?
This is my first time coming to a city this big in general besides Las Vegas.
Have you ever been outside the United States prior to coming here?
Never this far over. Only I've been to South America about 4 or 5 times.
Where?
Or not all those places are South America. I've been to the Bahamas twice.
All right.
And then I've actually been to South America 3 or 4 times. Because I've been to Dominican Republic twice, 2 separate times.
Right.
And then I went to Brazil once. Yeah, the rest of them were cruises where we just pit stopped. The Dominican Republic twice,
Right.
but
Okay.
that was for a family member's birthday party. So like a group of us went down there twice.
So
Different parts of the country each time.
So you have family from Dominican Republic?
No, we just went there to go be somewhere nice. The first time was
Okay.
during COVID, so you could go there. We had like a little private area, nice beach,
Right.
hung out, and then we had so much fun. We came back with more people the second time.
That's what I'm talking about. Now, what's your age now? How old are
I'm
you?
35.
35?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why did I think, wait. For some reason, I thought when Eugene introduced you to me, you were younger
Nope.
than Yuki. You're 35.
Yeah, no.
I'm sorry, but this one I'm looking at.
She's 20.
21 now, but she's just been
Oh, sorry. She's
21.
No, she's 24.
23. We said 23. Yeah, she said 23.
Yeah.
She's 23.
I'm grandpa.
She's your little cousin.
Yeah.
All right. Now, wait, how are you related to them? I mean, how are you related in the family?
Cherie and my
Cherie?
mom are first cousins.
Our first cousins.
Yes.
So they share the same grandmother, of
Yeah.
course. I guess they do.
Yep.
Because their mothers came from the same.
Mothers are
grandmother.
sisters.
They're sisters, okay.
And then Dolores is our grandmother, my great grandmother.
Oh, that's why you put it on there. Dolores is your. That's what I was going to ask you what that said because I
Dolores,
couldn't tell the letters.
That's
Dolores.
Our
That's true. She's the matriarch of the whole family.
Yeah.
Where were you born?
Seattle.
Seattle.
Yeah.
The whole family's up there in Seattle. Why'd you? LA was too hot for you? Because okay, where in the South is your family from?
South. My dad's side of the family is from Louisiana.
So is mine. Where in Louisiana?
A small town called LaPlace, Louisiana.
Okay, I thought you were gonna say
So
Sweetport.
right near Hammond. No, you're up top.
Yeah, we're up top. Yeah.
Yeah.
My
We're-
father's from Sweetport.
We're like 29 minutes from New Orleans.
So you grew up in Seattle
Yes. Whole life.
until how old? Your whole life.
Yeah.
You're still there?
Yeah.
All right. You like Seattle? I've been up to Seattle. I went up there because you have Boeing up there. You have Precor. Do you know Precor?
No.
They make the fitness equipment. Some of it's up here. There must be in Seattle. Is it kind of like there's a black area and the white area?
Used to be a really black area and the rest area.
What happened? Who moved? Oh, it's Hispanic now.
Nope. It's on top of downtown. So once they started like buying
Gentrifying.
and remodeling,
So no
and
more blacks are there anymore.
It's far and few.
So where are the blacks now? They told them it's better if you go over there.
Yeah, like over 30 minutes away.
And they put a little
The
shopping mall
regular
there.
houses we grew up in, that I think my grandmother's house, when they had to sell it, sold for like almost 350 or 400,000. Those same
And they
houses
paid
in those-
$5,000 when she got it. Yeah.
those same houses in those areas. No, she said she got her house. I want to say it was like 1940 something, and she said she paid like 45,000 for it when she got it.
Okay, that's
My
1940.
great grandmother.
Okay.
Yeah. So then now you want to go buy those same houses, it's like there's 2 houses on the lot, so I don't even know the actual price. But if I look up her address, it's like 1.2 something million. They split the backyard, put another house in the back, and then sold another portion of the lot. So they made 5x what they bought.
And they're in
that.
downtown too.
It's right on top of downtown. You have downtown Seattle, then you have our Chinatown or International District, but it isn't that big. And then you have the Central District.
And they used to be all black.
That was the red-lined area, all black.
Now blacks is, can I get in please, mister?
Yeah. So there's a couple like big, like Paul Allen did some stuff where like they put a few laws in to where a certain percentage of your tenants have to be black or like native to the area, but
It's not really. They're not adhering to it.
Yeah, no, they do. It's anything they do new construction there because we're limited on space. If you build a business or new construction business, you have to have a multi-purpose with apartments on top.
Okay.
So then they'll make a percentage of it for lower income or black, and then they get a tax write-off on it.
All right.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. So how do you feel about living in Seattle? I mean, what do you compare it to? Do you have anything to compare it to? Have you ever lived anywhere else?
I've never lived anywhere else. The only place that I went that looked similar to where I live, I would probably say I went to Boston. Boston looked pretty close, but it was I'd say it probably was like an older, slightly better version. I went to Commonwealth. That was pretty. Felt like I was at home the way everything moved and the people were kind of cold. Outside of that, Portland is the closest you'll get if you've never been to Seattle. Seattle's a little bit different, but we used to have the most diverse zip code in the United States. With immigrants. So I got to meet everybody and see everybody growing up.
For example, who were there? Ethnicities, who?
We have a huge Asian community.
Right.
And then
Vietnamese, right?
No, everything.
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 Okay.
The most diverse zip code in the United States. And then there's a lot of tech there, so you have Indian or like other people.
But don't
there.
they set up their own communities? I mean, their areas where they're living?
Not all the time. They'll have their own communities where their businesses function, and they'll have to just go to those areas for business if they're
but their living zones are really diverse. You can't have an area you say, well, if you want to meet the people in this ethnicity, they're over there. Like in LA, it's that way.
I can only say that for a lot of them try to move to the same areas, but it's they'll be all bunched within a 10-mile radius, but not
people in between. They can't be boom like in this area.
No,
okay.
I think I can't even say only. There's a area I know. No, because I think that's business based, where there's like a Jewish community and their main church, and you'll just see like a lot of Jewish people walking in this area. But I don't know if they all live over there or commute. But if
they're walking over there, they live there.
Yeah.
Nobody walks around in the States, period, man.
You're
asking for a headache.
I've been protected. I've been here with burning shins, walking with these guys.
Isn't that nice?
I've never walked so much in my life.
And felt safe and didn't have to worry about somebody pulling over shooting you because you look like Bobby. Hey, that's you, Bobby? He said, no, Bobby. No, man, but it's real.
Yeah, it's real.
I'm talking about real stuff, man.
Oh, no, it's real.
You wear a red hat. You wouldn't dare wear your red.
In California?
Shoot, no. You're saying the wrong thing.
In California?
Shoot.
Oh,
you don't be wearing hats or nothing, do you?
I piss my friends off in California all the time.
Wearing red hat?
Wearing any hat. I try to be mindful, like, depending on where I'm going, because I know the rules. But, like, if I want to get dressed, I didn't grow up in that culture. So I feel like I should be able to get dressed. But you might have might have some eyes looking at you because of how you got dressed, literally.
Thank you.
Oh yeah.
And they might have feel some sort of way about it too.
And that's light. You might actually have someone come ask you legit where you are from because of your outfit. Yeah. Hat in California is like highly profiled with bad.
That's right.
If I wear my hometown baseball team on a hat in California, being black,
you could be suspect.
No. You're automatically suspect. You're automatically suspect. There's not a could be. I live in an area where my kids can go outside.
You have children?
Yeah.
How many you got?
Two.
Okay, so you're born there. So you're married now?
Long-term girlfriend.
We don't have to talk about it.
Long-term girlfriend.
Okay.
Working on it.
That's who you have the kids by?
Yeah.
How many kids? Two. How old are your kids now?
My daughter will be 13 in 2 months, and my son is 9. Just turned 9.
Let's talk about this. Okay, well, going through school, I ask this sometimes too. Were you more academic or were you more sports-minded?
I was more neither.
More neither. That works.
I played sports growing up. I played soccer for 7 years. Or we're away from US. I played football for 7 years. I played basketball a couple years. But it wasn't really like once we got to high school and you have to go to practice before class and you might be sweaty or you got to shower at school. Yeah, that was the end of that career for me. I didn't like to practice or work out. School was fairly easy for me.
Okay.
So that was.
What subjects did you like?
Math. I'll say math and science. Mm-hmm. I know for sure I hated language arts. But yeah, math and science.
Right.
Depending on what the history was about, some of it was fun. But no, just math.
What college did you go to?
I only did a year. No, I didn't even do a full year in college. I stopped going to school, went to work 17, and then paid to go to community college to try to finish getting on mine.
Did you?
No, I went back to work.
All right. So what'd you do? What kind of work were you doing?
Now I own a clothing store in Seattle, and I'm in legal marijuana business there, which is like crazy that the rules are so different being over here, and that'll get you thrown under the jail.
Right. You don't want to you don't want to touch it here, please.
Yeah, no. So the media thing that Eugene was referring to you about, my store had what over there. What's relatable? Oh, like Airbnb.
Okay.
You rent an apartment.
Right.
I had a facility that had a full photography studio, all the lighting equipment you need, and a pretty good setup. But you would rent the space daily on an app called Peerspace. So I ran a photography studio on Peerspace, and then I would just help facilitate jobs or creative direction. So I've actually helped with some cool commercials before. One commercial, I actually did a DoorDash commercial that was played in the NBA Finals, and I was in the commercial. Then what's the other good ones? There's a big, I did Stewie's last Seattle storm. She had like a little camp thing right before they announced she had been traded to New York. So Brianna Stewart's, we shot her last content. I think that's the only like super.
But are those good for you financially? I mean, do they really?
No, it's more like an art thing.
That's what I was gonna say. Because a lot of people that get involved in art, they do it for the eventual hope for recognition, so they can really start making money. But meanwhile, they're paying more to be in it than they are getting out of it.
So
you feel that way?
The photographers and videographers I worked with were my friends. So any money that came through the pipeline was make sure they got paid and make sure we just kept working our way up the ladder with jobs.
So what did you do for income?
I was selling clothes the entire time.
Okay, and you still have the clothing.
Oh yeah. I made this you have on. I have on right now.
All right, Rainier. Okay.
Rainier.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's your brand?
Yeah. Clothing store is aisle 4. I have my own brand, which is Quickstrike. That's this sporty looking logo.
So what do you have? What kind of apparel? All of it?
Sportswear, and then this is gonna be more like a casual city wear. You can get like, we make novelty pieces. Rainier is the street and the mountain over there. So we make like a hybrid for the store stuff, and then me and a couple of my friends are all in the store, and we have our own brands each that take up the rest of the space in there. Yeah.
All right, how long have you had this?
This is this is 4 years, going on 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's doing well? You feeling good about it?
Feeling good. It could be better, but everything could always be better. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I think we'll have a really good summer. Seattle's slow in the wintertime, so that part sucks. But spring and summer, everyone comes out there. Our weather's nice. It's like kind of like here, you'll have the sun is out and a breeze. We're so close to the water that it's bearable, and people like being outside. But after October, nobody's coming outside.
Nobody's going outside. See, it's gloomy and cold.
Yeah, so we have to run event-based things to get like the store interactive, and during those times versus spring and summer, people are just out and just stopping by and just coming to hang out, shop, or say what's up. So it has to be tackled pretty weird.
Right. So your list of contacts has to be pretty solid too.
Yeah, but
so you can get out there, your email
I'm pretty cool at home. I got a lot of friends at home. I've been working there my whole life. I went to one of the more popular schools there, so I know a ton of people.
What was a popular school there? Was it co-ed?
Yeah, Franklin High School. It's like a pretty big school. And then
was it? I mean, ethnic-wise, was it really mixed? What was the percentages?
Oh yeah,
what were the percentages?
It was probably one of the most diverse in Seattle public school districts because it was in the middle of the city.
Okay.
So you have people getting bussed in from some places, some people that could walk to those places, but that zip code that I was telling you about, it is in that zip code. Okay. So there's a lot of people there, but
well, didn't the people, people by their very nature in America, because it's such I, my, me society, group with people like themselves. So in the school, you'll see the Asian kids walking together.
Oh yeah,
and in the school, you see the brothers walking together.
Khmer is the. I can't think. There were like the Cham boys. You would have like.
Okay, what were the groups? Tell me some of the groups that you remember.
The Cham boys. Then you'd have like.
Who were the Cham boys?
I don't remember what country they're from.
Okay, but were they Asian?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you'd have like, it would be like a collective group of Southeast Asians.
Okay, right.
They had their spot.
And you couldn't jump in there easily.
No, you gotta say what's up, but
I mean, but you couldn't be hanging out with them every day and eating lunch.
You could if you were like that, like
if you had that kind of thing.
Yeah, if you were that, that's who you related to and that's what you did, then cool.
Possibly.
There was always gonna be like a couple of stragglers. Like there might be a couple of them that religion-wise they had to pray with them, do all their stuff, but they hung out with the black guys.
I hear you.
Yeah, so it was pretty flip-flop. There'd be a black guy that knew more about anime before the rest of us figured out what that was, and he will relate to them because they're on different stuff. But yeah, I would say everybody had their sectional groups there for sure. And then we had a lot of Koreans there too.
Did you?
Yeah, and a lot of Samoans.
What about Japanese?
I couldn't tell you. We had a lot of Japanese people. If they were there, they blended in.
Right.
They either had their own. They either had their own mini pocket, and I just didn't know it, because I didn't know the difference. Like, I don't. In Seattle, it's not like they'll just break it down to black, white, Hispanic, Asian. It's crazy because the Islanders all get put under one pocket, but you might be Guamanian, and they're just like, no, they're the Islanders. They'll say you're a Samoan or something, and just make it that. But not everyone of South American descent, but they're just gonna say, oh, that's the Spanish for the Mexicans. But you'll be all different things. There might be a Brazilian guy just getting called Mexican because we didn't know the difference.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's just easier to classify them in that group.
That's just how that worked, and you just be putting this invisible pod.
So you come over here, but you have a cousin who's a quarter Japanese. You knew this all your life, basically. Well, that's the only family that you had that had Japanese in them?
Yes.
Okay.
So I took, Eugene's probably been like the cool cousin.
That's your uncle Eugene. Oh, he's your cousin.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so that's my cool cousin. So when I was a kid, they would always try to get me to like show me different things or harass me because of my palate is super small on food. So
what are your favorite? What do you like? Don't say chicken now.
I like burgers, chicken, pizza, snacks, and that's it.
That's it.
I like. Oh no, I can't say that's it because I do like a lot of like fruits and vegetables. I'm super smoothie guy, but outside of like this was my first time trying like fish and stuff.
How'd it go? How'd that go?
I almost died half those times, but I'm here today. They had me trying caviar and like a bunch of crazy stuff.
You didn't like the caviar? No, you said.
I'm sitting outside of the place I tried it, so I'm gonna say nice things. I'm gonna say nice things.
But anyway, so your favorites are those 4 areas you talked about.
But when I was a kid, they let you pick or I don't know how it was for your school, but they let you pick the language you want to try to study. If they have it, you make a selection from what's there. I took Japanese in 5th grade, or anytime I got the chance, I took Japanese because I kept saying I wanted to go to Japan because of Eugene. So growing up, I'm just learning things about Japan, and then the food always deterred me from like, I'm not gonna be able to survive. I won't be able to survive. I won't be able to survive. So I grew a love for Japan with a fear of Japan at the same time.
Because you see those octopus moving and stuff, and just hitting the shrimp and stuff. You say, wait.
You literally just said something that was a trigger right there.
They put sake on top of it. They do it with fish too, and it's still alive. Yeah.
Yes, there was a shrimp. And I said in a group chat, they sent me a video of we're on our way here, and it was on a plate, but that thing was twerking, and
they take it while it's twerking, yeah.
Yeah, and that's beyond me.
The hardest thing for me, Lamarr, is when I first came over here, and I hadn't thought about Japan. I hadn't given it a second thought, but ironically, the first girl I ever really liked was Japanese, but I didn't know she was Japanese. I didn't figure out she was Japanese until I was in junior high school, and I liked her in kindergarten. Her hair was so pretty and straight and black, and she was so quiet in class, and she wasn't like those other ones who used to chase me and call me spaghetti legs and stuff, Wendy the Witch and all that. So I couldn't do that, but I always liked her. And I thought she didn't think a thing about me. Probably doesn't know me from now. But I come over here, this guy takes me to a restaurant, and unfortunately it was a department store kind of restaurant. So the food isn't as fresh, and he had me eat sushi. And I bit into it, and it was like, you know how when you bite your tongue? That's the texture. And I went, oh man, and I couldn't do it. So it took me a whole year I'm a gymnast. I was working out at one of the top colleges here in gymnastics with some of the top gymnasts. After that, and I wanted to keep my relationship. I'd been in Japan long enough to know that, you've got to stick it through. This is going to be for life. So I'm with Sanpei Sensei, and we go into a sushi restaurant. We have a beer, and I didn't really drink, but I said, sure. So I'm drinking the beer and eating the sushi, and it was like, I felt like Yuki when it comes to this. Man, I fell in love with it. It was just like biting into heaven. It was just so beautiful, and I realized later it's because I had old sushi, it had a hard texture. And I thought it was the beer that was making me feel that way, but we did this every week, and it kept on getting better and better and better and better. And this guys kept on giving me sushi and uni. I could only do uni, which is like sea urchin. I can only do that if it's fresh. And the sushi guy at the sushi place told me that's the only way you want to eat it. And it's sweet. It's almost like dessert. And you couldn't touch it because it looks like. Anyway, what
oh no! You're talking. Yeah. I know what a sea urchin looks like.
Yeah, sea urchin. That's what it is.
I know what that is.
But when you get it fresh, and don't be in the ocean and you get it. Oh, man, it's beautiful. So I can do it now. I love all. I like.
I think now if I went anywhere and it was like life or death, I could eat salmon. And I don't think, or no, if it's cooked right now, I'll say, because we went to some nice places that prepared the food really well. So I got the best versions of some things that I might not like. So I can't say what it would be somewhere else, but whale was actually not bad.
You had whale meat?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that was like, it was like steak type texture. I had everything I had was cooked for the most part until the end.
Okay.
But yeah, the whale actually wasn't, like, that wasn't bad. And then some of them, there was sauces that came with them that complement the food that made it better. But you take those sauces away, I wouldn't try it.
We were getting the foods we could, but I won't. Tell me this. So what'd you find? You've been here for how long now? A week?
Yeah, almost a week.
A week?
Yeah.
What are some of the things that struck you right away, Lamarr? When you come to Japan, what are some of the first things that when you go back, you got to say, man, shoot.
I didn't get the same introduction to Japan that everyone else got, and I think that made it 10 times better.
What's that?
When we landed here, we went straight to Chiba.
Straight to where?
Chiba.
Chiba?
Yeah. So I spent the first...
That's where you land.
Nope.
You came through Haneda, didn't you? Haneda? No, not Narita. You came through Haneda. Oh, and you drove to Chiba. You went there. Why would you do that?
Because that's where his friends were. And he went to see his best friends first and us to work off the jet lag somewhere peaceful.
So what was it like? What was your
first like
introduction?
Being in, it was like being in Honolulu again, but a nicer version.
No, how did you go there?
We drove over. We were picked up from the airport from his best friend, and they drove us the 45 minutes over.
Okay.
And then we get there, and he's like, "Are you guys hungry?" Everyone's like, like, yeah, we're kind of hungry. All right, let's go on a walk. I'll show you around. We'll work up our appetite. So as soon as we got here, we just started hitting it. Day one, we walk around, but we're in a nice neighborhood. It's like a really nice neighborhood. You take 5 steps and you're somewhere. We're at a 1,000-year-old temple, or no, we go from a shrine to from a temple to a couple steps from there, we're in like family burial areas, and a Buddhist temple is over there. And it was like, you just walked around, showed me like rice fields, showed me like old houses. Like, it was a bunch of stuff, and it was like, that was the best part. I think my favorite part of being in Japan is gonna be the 2 days spent in Chiba.
The first day you went to Chiba.
Yeah.
Did you guys go through the Aqua Line?
Yeah.
Okay, so you went through Aqua Line. So I know I got where you went.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't long after you came out the Aqua Line you got to where you were going, or did you have to go to the other side of Chiba? Were you by the ocean?
We weren't by the ocean completely. You off the Aqua Line, you go somewhere and veer left. I'm not sure.
No, I understand that, but I mean, do you know the name of the area?
Not where Josh lived, but we did take a day trip down to
Tateyama?
Katsuoka, I think was it?
Where?
Katsuoka, I think.
Katsuoka.
But we went to Kambara Beach.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, we went to some nice beaches.
Because I rode my motorcycle around all.
We went to some nice beaches. Everyone there was nice. Like, it was. They called it the countryside. I don't remember how to say it. Yeah, I don't.
Inaka.
Yeah, that was nice. The people there were nice. Everyone's like smiling and friendly. And here, I won't say that they're not nice, but everyone seems to be like more to themselves.
You mean in the club?
No, and
in
just
Tokyo.
Walking around Tokyo.
Okay,
yeah, everyone's more to themselves. You make eye contact with somebody, and I'm used to, like head nod or, how you doing, or you don't have to say anything, but just
kind of
just something.
That's how you do it in Seattle, you mean?
Yeah, you walk past somebody, you guys accidentally making eye contact, cool, have a good day, or whatever you gesture. Here it's like, I made eye contact with you, and now I'm accidentally realizing I made eye contact with you, and I'm gonna relock in another direction and not acknowledge you.
Gotcha.
The cops here acknowledge us, but we're walking around here, so they probably see a ton of foreigners, but everywhere else we've been, it's like people will literally just look at me. And it's not.
You got on a cap too. You're walking around with your cap and you're dressed like this, right?
Yeah.
It depends on how you dress.
Oh, probably worse than this. I might have on a t-shirt.
I would say worse.
Yeah.
It's not worse. It's
not
just different.
not to me worse, but t-shirt.
But the thing is, you have to. It's like any place. You blend into the area that you're in, and you're going to dress a certain way.
Yeah.
And if you dress that certain way, you'll get the responses then. But if you don't, and you're outside, it's obvious you're visiting, you're passing through. You're not living here.
Yeah.
They know you wouldn't live here and you wouldn't do that regularly. You just wouldn't.
Yeah.
So that's why they don't want. He's passing through. Like that bird just flying by. We'll see you later. Greet you for. That's the difference from the West Coast to East Coast. When I was 18 years old, I rode my motorcycle from LA to New York and back. 23 states. Oh yeah, me and another brother. I had a Honda 750. I'll show you pictures. My fro was this big. And I wore a helmet. When I took it off, my stuff would go poof. And people would look at me. And I was scared because a movie had come out just prior to me going called Easy Rider. And there were two white boys on Harleys. And they got killed for being down in the South. And then the movie. They get blown away. Cats with me, hippie, crap, and boom, and blew them away. Now I'm black, going across just right after this movie's there. Scared, but still couldn't stop myself from doing it for whatever reason. And I had no thoughts of leaving the United States necessarily, but I just wanted to go across. West Coast, everyone. The East Coast.
Yep.
West Coast, hey man, let's be friends, and they're never there. East Coast, man, we're ride or die. Different mentality, but different expressions too. The further east we went, fewer smiles you saw. Further west we went, more smiles you see. But the difference of how they feel is different.
Yeah.
East Coast, they pull you in. If you're family, you're family. They expect to be with you until the end, like Japan. These people are very much mind their own business. In Tokyo, because everyone's coming here from everywhere else. That's why.
That makes sense.
But if you go into their areas, they see you, they know you're not from there, so how you doing? They'd be tickled pink. They don't care if you wear a turban. Tickle pink with you, right?
Yeah.
So no, Tokyo's just that big city. That's New York. It's New York. New York people act the same way.
Yeah.
You get New York, you go like this. What you want, man? You better not be looking at me too long. You haven't been able to get the kind of reception you want from the people.
Not that I want. It's just not what I'm used to.
You're used to, right?
Yeah. So it doesn't bother me. Like, it bothers me because I'm used to it being a certain way, but it doesn't bother me to where I feel like I'm being isolated.
No.
Yeah, no, it's not that.
Yeah, how do you feel about being here in Japan as a person of color? What do you feel about being in Japan? Do you feel any threat? Do you feel tension?
What everyone else thinks outside of the States or outside of Japan is probably wrong. So
which is? What do they think?
Coming here,
they think?
People think the buildings are small. People think the people are small. People think you're just going to be like, oh, black man. I haven't really gotten that anywhere. And then there's people walking around that's my height. Everyone here is generally sized except for their feet, I'm guessing. No one here is really overweight, so like bigger clothes my size, not really a thing. But people here are kind of averagely sized and mind their business. Haven't had anything to where I saw some, my friends go to like different parts of Asia or like in Thailand and stuff, and people are like taking their picture walking down the street. Nothing like that's happened to me.
No wrong.
No.
It did when I first came here, but it won't with you now. I know they're used to us now.
Yeah, so nothing like that's happened to me, so that's cool. The city's way faster than I thought and way busier than I expected for it to be so many areas like that. Like, I'm assuming I go to Shibuya, it's gonna be like a crazy amount of people, but it's like literally everywhere we've been on this side has been a lot of people commuting.
You haven't been to Shibuya yet?
I have.
Oh, okay.
But I was expecting that to be like a hot zone. Everywhere here is kind of a hot zone. And I didn't know it was that. So they're explaining it to me when we get here, like, oh, this is like 10 New York cities in one spot.
Oh, sure.
And I'm like, okay, but I'm thinking we're saying structurally, and no, it's a ton of people here, everywhere.
Up
Walking
and down.
everywhere.
You go underground, it's there. They're all there. It doesn't matter where you're at.
Oh, yeah, I sardined on a train for the first time. Being in Japan's my first time really riding a train, besides a little kid, like, riding a train with my family. I don't even remember where we went. So here, subways and trains, and I've never done that type of stuff. So being here, she's thinking like, "Are you a little claustrophobic?" I'm like, "No, I'm just not used to people like touching me." You're all in my space.
That's true. Your zone is a little bit closer here.
Yeah, so
they'll be right up on you.
So I'm putting the AirPod in and like turning my music on to try to like just ignore the fact that someone is gonna
right on top
like,
of you,
right there on you. That's weird, but. Japan's nice. I'm definitely coming back here again. I like it here.
You like it?
I like it here. And I'm finding like the little pocket cities that I would want to go visit more. And I didn't do too much things off of my touristy list. So I know I have to come back to sightsee a couple more things, but I'm glad I went to Chiba and got to experience something like that, being 45 minutes away from something like this. So I like Japan.
Isn't it beautiful?
Yeah, I like Japan.
I mean, you're preaching to the choir, because I've been here 50 years, and it took 10 years. The first 10 years, first of all, I only came over here because of the Air Force, and it was because of Vietnam. My first year, I only had 1 year of college as well, and I had a draft notice my first year in college. So what I did was, I went to the recruiting office and I enlisted into the Air Force, and my last 2 years, they gave me Japan, but I'd only been to Puerto Rico, and that's why I said Haiti, because I went to Haiti too, not to be stationed there, but as a vacation from Puerto Rico. And I went to St. Croix, St. Kitts. I went to all the Virgin Islands. It was live, man. Anyway, in those days, and when I came over here, I thought I was going to find rickshaws and people with grass hats. I get over here, man. The taxis, even then, had automatic doors. You didn't close the doors. They opened themselves, and they closed afterwards. You don't touch the door. Everybody got in a proper line when they lined up for stuff. Everything was clean. The smells were different because the sewage system wasn't quite as robust as it is now. So you get in certain sections and you'd smell the sewage, but that's almost gone, alleviated now. The people were always clean. Always organized, but they were more curious too, because they hadn't seen a lot of us, and they had us as one of three things: military, entertainment, and sports. And the latter two, they only knew us as very wealthy. So they'd struggle to see you, and they'd think whoever you look close to, that's who they think you were. You know, for me, I was very, very fortunate, lucky in a lot of ways, because I could have looked like O.J. Simpson, but they thought I looked like Denzel Washington.
I can see that.
So what I would say to them, but now because of my hair, I don't, and he's not letting his hair get white. He should be just like me, because he's a year younger. But people would always say to me, you know, you look like Denzel Washington. And my response to that would be, that is the nicest compliment I've ever heard anyone give that man. Now, some people would catch it, some people wouldn't get it. But the fact being that I can't look like someone who wasn't here before I came here. He's a year younger than me. Listen, Lamarr, before I end this podcast, before we do that, are there any things here that you'd like to talk about that you really, really inspired you, or that you thought were a big contrast from being here and being in the U.S.?
That's two different things I would say, probably. Things that bigger contrast for me being in the U.S. is it's formal here, and people have morals, and that's something I've never seen before, because I live in the U.S. and it's pretty much every man for themselves. Here, I saw a guy yesterday. We're walking last night. Somebody's walking, opens a bottle cap, it spins off and drops, and they immediately like, oh, we gotta hurt. Hey, get that and put it in your pocket. At home, that thing touched the ground, they're not putting it back on the lid. Them people are gonna keep walking. No one's stopping to pick that up. Now, we did see like a little bit of litter in certain spots, but that's probably from some tourists. Everyone here that's from here takes care of things, and they're even so mindful that to throw away trash, they'll buy something from somewhere to throw away trash. So that is different. Family value and like core values go way further than the household. So me as a person, I would represent my entire lineage. So going somewhere and knowing you have to be that is kind of why I say I even tried some of the foods. Seeing how everyone else is like into things, it's like I didn't want to be the one to put a bad taste out or put the wrong image out about everyone else. So Eugene's taking me to some nice places, introduced me to some pretty cool people, and I got to make sure that I represent my family well. So there's certain things we're going and doing and trying, and he just wants me to have a broader palate and try, but he knows me. He knows when I'll run off if I get a chance. If I don't like something, I'm going to tell you H no or whatever and keep doing what I'm doing. But I'm here with you, with your peers who look at you in a highly guarded state, and I don't want to mess that up for you. So whatever they put on this table, I'm going to eat it, and we'll figure it out later. So I said I was only going to try like 2 things. I tried like 10 things, and I don't regret none of it.
You're still here.
Yeah, I made the most of my trip, and I got some experiences that I could never ever change. So I like that. The things that are like influential to me, I like the architecture here. I like the greenery here. I like some of I didn't get to see too much crazy art, but I do like some of the art that I was able to see here. One of the things that stood out to me, I didn't even say anything, I just keep looking at them. The sewers here don't say sewer. They're these nice Japanese flowers, and there's 5 colors across the sewer line, and then there's smaller like gas pockets, and they have a different but similar flower on those. So we're walking around and walking on the streets, and I'm always just like checking the sewers and checking, but like it's just small attention to detail.
And about the manhole covers
that
they put up there, they decorate those.
Yeah,
they're not just manhole covers.
Yeah, so it's not like it's not an eyesore. It's more like I keep naturally catching myself looking at them. Then I got to see blossoms. The homes, how they're like some of the modern homes will be remodeled with old style stuff on it. That was cool. So more architectural things and stuff I want to take home and then like look a little more into and see what I can see from there. But Japan's a cool place. Japan's cool.
That's what I want to hear. That's beautiful. I mean, I'm glad you enjoyed it, even though I'm not Japanese, but I've decided to live most of my life here.
Oh, the one thing that's weird to me here, I've never seen so much consumerism in my life. I'll say that.
Okay. Such as?
I thought I was crazy. These people do some shopping. There's 10 of every store here. It's some of these stores, like yesterday we were walking, there is a 11-story Uniqlo here. I didn't even want to walk in because I'm just like, that might just be too, like 11 story. Like that's, like how do you have so much stuff? And then you go somewhere else and it's like, oh, that one's 6 stories, that one's 4 stories. And then there's this 10 Louis Vuittons. So I'm just here like, I don't know how people do this. Like what do you, next time I come here, I would do it different because I'm now trying to find things that are specifically made here or made and tagged with at least something from here. So it's not me just getting the version I can get in America. But then it's hard because our dollar is higher right now. So it's like, if I do want it, now's the time to get it and just figure that out later. So I've never seen, like we're walking and it's 10 o'clock at night and people are just shopping.
That's right. This place is 24/7 now.
Shopping.
Anything you want, all the time. Convenience stores open up all the time.
The convenience store thing's cool though. That's not bad.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah, that's not
all
bad. We walk to the convenience store and you just tap, and get out of there.
Good to go.
Yeah, that's cool. I don't even know what the name of this ice cream bar that I've been eating every day is, but I wish we had one at home. It's like a waffle with like a marshmallowy ice cream in the middle and a chocolate thing in the middle. I don't know what it is, but
you're taking pictures of it, I'm sure, so you can take it at home and stuff.
Yeah, they don't have it at home.
Well, then something you're talking business.
Look, whoever here needs to figure out how to set up a factory over there. They make $1 billion.
They do well.
Yeah.
So Lamarr, if you could go back, I always like to end by asking, if you could go back in time and meet the younger Lamarr, you say you're 35, right?
Yep.
If you can go back in talk to the younger Lamarr and give him advice based upon what you know now? You've been to Japan too.
Yeah.
How old would that Lamarr be, and what advice would you give him?
Oh, the how old part is the crazy part. Because there's 3 different Lamarrs that I would tell some things, and then there's those 3 different Lamarrs pivoted me to learn and try different things. So the easiest one to talk to that would probably be the most understanding would be 18-year-old Lamarr. I would go catch 18-year-old Lamarr and just tell him it's not as bad as you think. Nothing's as bad as you think, and it's not that serious. Try harder, like what you like, and execute those things that you have on your list. Everything else I can circle back to do it later, but I put a lot of focus on some, I won't say the wrong things, I just over-focused on certain things, the stress factor, thinking I had to make it. And then I didn't try a lot of things that would have been better for me because I just didn't know. So yeah, I'll probably catch 18-year-old Lamarr, but if I don't have all those knucklehead Lamarrs in between, I don't get me now. So I don't know. I'll probably let those guys bump their heads. I'll let those guys bump their heads. 18 me, I would catch him.
Thank you so much, man.
No, thank you. This was actually very easier than I thought it was going to be.
You were tense, a little tense?
Not tense. It's just usually I'm going into these type of situations with a more structural purpose, so it's not as smooth of a conversation.
This was smooth?
Yeah, this was smooth.
That's what I'm talking about. I want to thank all of you for watching or listening to this podcast. And never forget, it's all on loan, so continue to reach for the stars.
Because you're too blessed to be stressed.